Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I share how I've coloured all of her dress in with Faber-Castell Albert Dürer watercolour pencils, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So if you want to see how I created this dress combination look, then carry on watching. So I thought I'd take you step by step and my thought process of from choosing the colours. I'm using the Faber-Castell, nearly said polychrome almost, the Albert Dürer's watercolour pencils to colour her dress. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I have got ink. A Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen exploded. Yeah, and I can't get it off. I've tried everything other than bleach to get it off, so it's just going to be a matter of time. Trust it as well when I get my nails done. Anyway, so yeah, I've got these pencils here, absolutely beautiful pencils. Why I don't colour with these more often, I don't know, but I think maybe the reason is because I'm getting so used to using pan watercolours. I choose to use them over these because it's a little bit quicker, but I really enjoy using these, Now, for all of the previous pencil work on this one, I've used Holbein pencils, believe it or not, Holbein pencils. Now, I'm trying to get over my phobia about putting them back in the specific spot. I've got all my pencil cases in order of what they came, and I try and keep them in that way, but because of my Holbein pencils, I've got gaps of missing pencils. I don't put them back in the right space and it stresses me out. But, yeah, I did use the Holbein pencils for all of this, but I just wanted to do something different with the dress. I didn't want to use one same pencil for the whole thing. Now I do want to try and stick with pastel and yeah, lighter shades. I think maybe we'll go either purple, because we've done blue there, so let's have a look. The only thing with these pencils, I'd say there's not loads of light shades to work with, and because I've already done the blue on his little cloak, I don't think I can use the blues. I could always do like a minty colour, and I've already done the yellow there, so yellow's out the question, pink, blue, so I could do purple, a light green. I could do I'm doing turquoise. As soon as I saw that colour, I'm doing turquoise. Light cobalt turquoise, cobalt green, and then cobalt turquoise, and then just to deepen it up a little bit, I'll go ahead with Prussian blue. So I think that should be okay. So I'll get these pencils prepped. I need to get my cloth. I have got my brushes. I've just got two aqua brushes here, a small tip and a medium tip. The one thing that I would say about these, but it's the same as watercolours and Inktense, you do have to be a bit patient with letting the layers dry. Now normally I would work in layers with pencil over the top. I'm not explaining myself properly, so I'd go over the whole thing with this colour and then wait for it to dry, then use this, and so forth with all the colours. Now today I'm going to try and use all the colours at once, so I'm hoping that this works and it's not a disaster, because I like how this is turning out, but that's how I want to do it today. So let's get cracking. That looks a little bit more true to the colour. I had the settings wrong on the camera, so we're all sharpened. I think I'm going to work in sections, so like this area, and that's the biggest area there. I might even do his little booties as well, his little booties. So starting off with the light cobalt turquoise, just a thin layer of this. Now this is what I would normally do. I'm not too worried about leaving like harsh lines, because these pencils blend out so quick and so nicely. I have tried a budget friendly and you just can't get better than these. But they are nice, but I still do like my Inktense, but they are completely different. They do work differently. And the Inktense are a bit more pop in your face. I do prefer these though over the Caran d'Ache Aqua Museum, are they called? Pencils. think it depends what mood that I'm in. So just a rough layer of this all over. Again, I'm not too worried about how neat it is. Not just yet. And then the cobalt green. So luckily with this illustration, this Christine Cameron one, I couldn't think then, it's really lightly grayscaled, so you can add your shadows where she's already put. So she's giving you a guide. Now I tend to use the guide but go over it a little bit in certain areas. Like for instance, on the face there, it was only shaded to about there, but I pulled it out a bit further where I thought it should be. Yeah, it's just a guide. The Nino's alright. It's just starting to rain again. Great British weather. So I want to be a little bit neater with this step. I wouldn't want to be colouring it this way. You want to go with the way that the fabric's meant to be falling. And by no means am I an expert with this. I'm just doing what I've learnt over this time, and I've read in books and watched videos and tested and had plenty of fails. Let's do that line at the bottom there like that. And I think we'll try and do maybe a rose gold bangle, or maybe just a normal gold bangle, because that will go with the colour of the yellow of his outfit. That'll be better. I've spoke about it before. I struggle with picking colours that go together. It takes me a long time to like, I don't even think that blue goes. That should have been a lighter blue, like this sort of blue, to be honest. But it's done now. Maybe I should invest. Oh, what's that colouring cards? Colour with Claire. She really likes it. I can't remember the name of it. The colouring cards, and it tells you what colours to use. Maybe I should attempt one of them, maybe. So I'm going over where that grayscale is, but a little bit further, because I don't want loads of light area showing through. I hope I'm explaining myself right. Pull it up a little bit further, and then go on to the darker colour, which is cobalt turquoise. Now with these pencils as well, I don't personally do it, but I have seen other people just using them straight up as colouring pencils, so that is an option with these. So I'm basically going over where I've just been, but I'm not pulling the colour as far up. I'm just hoping when it comes to the blending out, this is what I'm a little bit nervous about, that I've managed to pull it off, because I don't usually do it this way. But if we don't try, we don't know, do we? That deepest colour, I'm only going to add a tiny bit of that. And normally, if I was doing this at my own time, the book would have been upside down, so please do that and don't struggle like I'm doing here. So add that line. And then the deepest colour is the Prussian. Is that how you pronounce that? Prussian. It reminds me of a cat. Prussian blue. I'd love to have a cat, but my husband's allergic, so unfortunately I can't. Yeah, just deepen up some of these areas. I'm not going to go over everything that I've just put down. If this works out, I might even attempt the hair. I've never ever done hair with these pencils. Maybe I could just do a base and just get the initial shadows down, and then go over the top with the different brand of pencils. Or the polychromos match these perfectly, same brand. I could always do that. So this is the nervous bit for me. Ooh. I've got my cloth, my very clean but stained cloth. Got clean water. I am a little bit nervous, to be fair. Just testing how damp it is on the back of my finger, and I am gonna have to tilt it a little bit, and let's just do it. So I'll start off in the lightest area, try and miss where I've put all the shadows as best as I can. It's not going to be perfect. Just try and get all these activated. So the paper's wet as well, you see. So wipe off the excess, any pigment, and then start activating this darker colour. Ooh, I'm a bit nervous. You might hear me go quiet because I am concentrating. It would be the way if I wasn't filming this now, I wouldn't be so nervous, and it'd probably work out. So I'm constantly just dabbing off to take off any excess colour that I don't want. And then for this way around, I'm going to have to hold the brush upside down because I want all that pigment to be at the bottom. Same with this one. The good thing about doing it in sections, I can work on another part, let that dry, and then come back and add some more colour if it needs it. You can go straight onto the pencil as well. You're holding the pencil like that and then go on like that. I don't like doing it. I don't mind doing that with neo colours, but you can do that. I just don't really like doing that. So with this being a larger section, I don't want to take the brush off the page till it's all activated, because I might get lines. Right. So let's clean my brush off again. Just try and neaten this up a little bit. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. So while that's drying, I'll work on her sleeve. This is actually dry now. I had to come away for a second, but I really like how it's turned out. I don't think that needs another layer apart from maybe this corner. So I'll do that straight away. But instead of going in with the different colours, I'll try the cobalt turquoise again. Just put a bit of that on there. And then the darkest colour, the Prussian blue. Just there. And activate that the same way. I just want the colour just to pull up a little bit and clean that edge off. Just like that. So same thing, which was the light cobalt turquoise. Now this will be a little bit different because we've got all these different directions going on, and I think we'll keep... Actually, that's not a bangle, is it? Because that's the same pattern there. So maybe that's going to have to be the same colour, maybe. Or shall I do it a different colour? I could do it purple. We've not used purple yet. We'll see. We'll see. I'll decide as I go along. So you want your light layer all over this colour. I'll do that section and that section, and that'll be better. And then it was cobalt green. So I'll just add this where the grayscale is already. In this paper, in this boot specifically, my belly's rumbling. It's really good. I don't know what this would be like on, let's say, Amazon printed paper or the Colouring Heaven paper since they changed it. I have used it in the older issues. So there's no grayscale here at all, so I do want to keep that the lightest. I'm going to pull out a little bit further because I don't want it too bright. And then in with the cobalt turquoise. My stomach's having a whole conversation with you. While I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, it's being very rude. So it's going over exactly where I've just been, but just not as far. But you can see the difference in colours when it's not activated to activated and actually dried. And then right there where there's a crease. And then again with the Prussian blue. That should do. This brush should be alright. So activate the lightest areas first. And then start deepening it up. Dabbing and taking off any excess as I go. Just like that. There's a glow, but there you go. You can see it. Be able to see it better as it dries. So it's that same thing on this side. And then we've got this gap in the middle as well. So we need to think about maybe a darker purple and a lighter purple. Turn the book slightly. I was just thinking I could use the glossy accents on these to make them stand out, but because this is in a book, if I come to colour the page in front of it, you'll have these bumps and lumps. So I'm probably not going to do that unless it's a front page or a PDF. I probably won't be able to use that stuff. I haven't used that in a long time as well. So the next darkest shade was cobalt green. And it's lightest in the very centre by the looks of it on this side. And this one needs sharpening. And then with the cobalt turquoise, just to define it a little bit more. And then we need to add a touch of the Prussian blue. Oh, nearly, I nearly put that on there then, almost. that wouldn't have been good because the paper being white. It would have been really dark. So let's get activating this. So with the lightest areas first. It's more or less just to get the paper like this, and so you're not left with really dark lines when it's dried. And it'll bleed into the lighter shade as well. Dab. And again, if you're doing this, please move the book around just to make it a little bit easier. Try and do that edge. I sort of want it to do its own thing, like go wherever it wants to an extent. Just guiding it. I think I need to go and make my dinner. But I'm really liking how it's turning out, and it's so much quicker. So much quicker than me colouring, waiting, and then possibly adding more pencils on top at the end. So I'm really chuffed with how that's turned out. So let's get the bigger areas coloured. Well, this will be a little bit interesting, this area, because there's grayscale in random areas, not just at the edges. Table shaking. Right. I don't think I said the colour of that one. I said it loads though. I should remember by now. Light cobalt blue and then cobalt green, which I'm actually going to sharpen. I should do. So there's not loads of grayscale at the top here, but I think that it'd be quite dark though. So I was adding a little bit more. And then we've got these random, they're like creases in the dress. Try and follow it as best as I can, and then add a little bit extra where I think it should go. And then with the cobalt turquoise, it's that same as before. And then with the Prussian blue, I think there's going to be a lot more lighter blue showing through on this area. Whoops. That could have been a disaster. Let's clean my brush off again. go in with the light areas as best as I can. Tap, tap, tap. It's a really, really funny angle to be holding a paintbrush, this. Just go around them edges and just add that extra colour. I think that's turning out really good. I really like it. So is that dried enough now? Yeah, I can do this little area here. But is that meant to be her? Let's pretend. So we've got the hair coming down here. And I think that's going to be her. That little bit there. So we'll do this area. Quickly be able to do this because this is only a smallish area. Just like that. And then hold the brush really funny again. Perfect. So we've just got this last section here. Now I'm glad that there's a piece of hair there and it just doesn't stop, otherwise there'd be a horrible line. So we've got this bit as well, and I'm not too sure what colour that's meant to be there. I'm going to leave that empty because there's a bit here as well that I'm not 100% sure. And come back to it later. And I've just realised I've missed colouring that. So that's it with that colour. And we've got the cobalt green. And the first darker shade was the cobalt turquoise. And then the Prussian blue. I think this Prussian blue is actually one of my favourites in this set, as well as the green gold. Still really like that one. So let's activate these lighter areas first. I'm definitely going to do this more often. And that's most of the dress done. So I need to pick a colour for the in-between and then that portion as well. I think I'm going to stick with the purples and maybe that mint colour, like I said. So let's have a little look. Let's put these back in what I think is the order. I have to have them with the name up as well. Prussian blue. Cobalt turquoise. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this minty shade. And then just to deepen it up, just use the two pencils and see how I get on. Plafond green, is it? The camera's not going to pick it up. But it is 161. There you go. Also, they are the same family then. That was a good guess. I do apologise for the sharpener, it's very loud. I missed all that part of her pink dress as well. What's going on? So I think I want, yeah, I'm going to do this. Do they almost like ribbons, don't they? And then for these little beads, I might leave them and same as the hair. I think I'm going to leave them towards the end and do them with either a metallic pen or a gel pen or metallic watercolour paint or glitter paint, something like that. So I will leave them till the end. It's a good job because I just nearly coloured over one of them. So just a nice thin layer of that all over. And then just to deepen it up a bit, go around these edges. Carefully, mind you, I don't want to get on the blue. I'll do the exact same thing. So I'll work on the lightest bit first. Try and get all that activated and then deepen it up. Just like that. I'm using really tiny circular motions for the areas that it's a bit difficult to get in. And I went straight into the darker one. There we go. That's better. I will let you see as well what it looks like completely dry, because it will look a little bit different, especially with the glare from the camera. So, right, so we can put them back now. We just need to pick a purple out for that area. I'm not 100% sure what that is, to be honest with you. But we'll colour it a lightish purple. We're going with violet. That is definitely not as light as I would want, but it would be darker, that area, wouldn't it? Like in the shadow a little bit. So roughly put that down, and then to deepen it up a tad, I use mauve. think for this area I'm actually going to switch to that smaller brush, because I don't want to get on the white. Where has it disappeared to? There it is. I'm not too worried about doing the light bit on this first, because most of it's dark anyway. I'm going to take some of that pigment and put it on there. Constantly dabbing the brush off as well. It's probably barely even wet now. That tiny little area there. And I'm going to leave them plain as well. I might even shade them with a tiny bit of grey just to make it look like a grey, yeah, grey white colour. And there it is, all dry. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. So that is definitely the way that I'm going to go to using these pencils in future. It's so much quicker. So much quicker. I don't know why I weren't already doing that. Pencil sharpenings everywhere. But I hope that you enjoyed the video and you got some tips or tricks or anything else, or you just had a laugh at me for how nervous that I got for activating this. But I love how this page is turning out. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!